is my favorite hairstyle ever. I love me some boho braids. I love me some human hair braids. I love when they get old. They look the best when they get old, by the way. Today's video, I want to talk about everything boho braids, from pricing, from how to ask for this hairstyle when you are at the salon, from which hair to get and why you should choose human versus synthetic, and who is this hairstyle for? This hair is from Soft Muse Hair. It is my hair company. We only sell all human hair for boho braids, and we are going to be restocking in April, so go ahead and sign up for the newsletter. Let's get started on this video. Since I've started wearing boho braids, I've always been a huge advocate for human hair braids. I think there is so many benefits to wearing human hair. So most of the times people are getting braids to wear it on vacation. Unless you're like me, I like to wear them almost all year round because I work out a lot. I'm a Pilates instructor. I just also hate dealing with my hair. A lot of times I'm wearing it all year round. However, if you are wearing braids on vacation or a hot climate, which you most likely are, a lot of times the heat and synthetic hair do not go. Synthetic hair and chlorine do not go either. And salt water and synthetic hair do not go. That is one of the reasons why when I actually wear like braids on vacation, my mind was blown. Like, one, the hair looks better when you come out the water, but it lasts so much longer. You don't have to worry about it matting if you get really good human hair. You don't have to worry about it just doing the things that synthetic hair does. Also, one of the main perks of wearing human hair that I always tell people, I'm like, girl, I have found a way to reuse my human hair. I save it. I have like bundles of it just like wrapped up from all the hair that I've used. Pricing is going to be a lot more every single time because obviously this hair is sourced, or if it's not sourced, it is obviously a higher quality, and this one synthetic is a lower quality. So therefore it is going to be $20 a pack. Human hair is going to be about $100 plus per bundle because, again, it's serving its purpose. You have to ask yourself, why are you getting these braids and how long do you want to keep these braids in? If you're saying, hey, I'm just getting these braids in and I want to keep it in just for like a week and a half, just for my trip to the Bahamas or whatever, and then I'm taking it out, fine, synthetic your way. If you're like, no, I just paid $400 for my braids and I want to wear it for the entire month, I just want to keep my braids in long and I don't want it to get matted or be itchy or anything like that, then I would definitely say go ahead and invest in that human hair. There is a way to save your human hair. Even if you glue it, because I've done it many times, or even if they tie the ends really tight, you can still save the human hair. Let's talk about the install when it comes to boho braids. So for boho braids, it is a specific install. Not everyone can do it. That is one of the reasons why I do spend a little bit more when it comes to my braids. I like to have about 5 to 7 pieces per braid because I find that it just gives me the full look that I like. It gives me all the body. It looks like a sew-in, and I'm really going for that sew-in look, but with actual braids at the scalp. That's what I'm going for because I don't really care for a sew-in all the time, but I also like the ease of braids. So we mesh the two and sandwich it, and you have boho braids. You want to just make sure that whoever you're talking to, you can communicate to them that you want several pieces on each braid. I've had it done to me before. They'll say, yeah, I get what you're saying. And then it won't look like what you're asking for. So just make sure you're very clear on what you want. Also, when I'm doing my hair, I like my braid to stop at like where my real hair is. I don't like for my braid to be braided all the way down and then there's a little bit of hair at the end. No, I want majority of the ends to be the curl. Here's what you're gonna ask your braider when you are asking for boho braids that look like this. You're gonna tell your braider, you're gonna say, hey, I want boho braids. They're gonna say, okay. I think you want this. You're gonna say, no, I want this. Now, when you say that, then you're gonna go into detail. You're gonna say, hey, I want you to create a braid that stops where my real hair is or an inch past my real hair, so therefore my real hair is not sticking out of the braid. Then you're gonna say, I also want many pieces sticking out of the braid. I don't want 2, I don't want 3. I want about 4 to 7 pieces sticking out of the actual braid. Then you're gonna say, I want the ends to completely end with all of the human hair. That's it. Just say that, okay? If you also want a little bit more ease, you can also say, because my braider did this, is they'll make it full all the way around, which is not a problem. The only problem is the back of the hair may tangle depending on how much hair they put back there. So I find that the ultimate hack to avoid any kind of like, you know, it gets hot back there. So if it tangles, no matter what kind of hair you have, okay, it might tangle. You just want to make sure that you avoid that. So in the first 3 rows, some braiders will put a little bit of pieces. So instead of having like you see how on the front we have all these pieces, the first 3 rows, they'll probably put like only 2 or 3 pieces or 1 piece, and they'll alternate it. And that's okay because it still looks really good. I mean, hey, once they get to the front of the hair, they'll most likely put a lot of pieces because I like for the front to look full when I have a middle part, when I have my hair down. Some braiders nowadays are charging to add extra pieces in. It is a very time-consuming hairstyle. At first, I was the girl that was like, why are you charging me extra for extra pieces? Like, that is crazy. And I still feel that way. Nothing has changed. However, I get it because I've done these braids on my own. I have done my entire head on my own. And when I tell you guys, it takes me, I'm not a braider. I could do sewing, I could do every other hairstyle, but I'm not a braider. It takes me about, I think I timed myself, it was like 6 minutes per braid. Maybe it was like 7. Maybe it was 5. It was one of those crazy numbers. So imagine 5 minutes per braid. And that's also with prep. So I gotta take out all the little pieces and put it aside to weave it. I like my braids. It is a time-consuming hairstyle. I always go to a salon or a braider with 3 bundles. Always. It's just like my norm. I never end up using all 3. So I usually use like 2.5. This time around, we did use about 2, majority of 2. I think we had like a slither, enough for like 3 braids left of hair when I use soft mousse hair. But I would say usually I always go to my braider with 3 bundles for a very full look. And that's just what I prefer. And yeah, I think the sizing just depends on what you're going for. I think for this look, you don't want the braid to be super huge. You know, you don't want it to be a large, clearly. And you don't want it to be, I wouldn't even do a medium. Maybe you can get it with the medium. I just feel like it might be too much. And what we want is a nice natural look. I want to be able to pull it up. I want it to look like the braid is invisible. And the bigger you go with that braid, the more I feel like it's not going to give you the look that, you know, that we are trying to achieve. So I would say a medium, I would say a small, or I would say an extra small, the size you should get for these braids. Actually, I think most braiders only really offer those 3 sizes for this style. So let's talk about longevity when it comes to boho braids. I keep these braids in for about a month and a half, sometimes 2 months. Like right now, April 11th will make 2 months, and today is what, March 29th? So I keep these in for quite a while. Boho braids can last you about 2 months. As well as many other people, I think boho braids look the best when they're old. Something about that lived-in look with these braids just looks so, it just looks so good. It gives Zoe Kravitz. It gives just, I just woke up and this is my hair. I love how these braids look when they get older. They really shine, okay? That's their moment. A lot of times I keep it in shorter than this because my job is in hair, what was and kind of still is a hair influencer. So I'm constantly changing my hairstyle. But this time I said, listen, I paid an arm and a leg for this one. Therefore, you're staying in the head, baby. And so I'm getting my money's worth with this one. I think this hairstyle can last you a full 2 months with 1 touch up. That's what I'll say. I do the middle part over, and then I do the sides, and then I can't do the back of my head. It's too short. So I can't do it myself. But if I do want to do the back, I'll just go to like a salon nearby and just first 4 braids and call it a day. Is this hairstyle high maintenance? I would say it does require some maintenance. So when you choose this look, you know that you are signing up for taking care of the hair. This is not just the, oh yeah, I just want it. This is a very specific hairstyle, especially if you want all those little pieces and you're like, hey, I want this much in the front, I want this much in the back, I want this much bun. It's very specific. So there is maintenance involved, and I'm not gonna lie to you. However, what your maintenance is will technically determine the ease of your maintenance. So for instance, I posted videos on Instagram and TikTok of me washing the hair, how I wash the hair, how I style the hair, how I maintain the hair after wash, and so forth. But if I washed my hair on, let's say I do it on a Monday, right? Wash my hair on a Monday, I deep condition it, I detangle it, I brush it out, I dry it the way it's supposed to be dried, I put in a little bit of setting foam. On Monday, it's gonna dry, it's gonna look so pretty when it dries. I am tying my hair down with the silk scarf in the front and then putting the ends in a bonnet, right? And I'm doing that every day for a week. Typically by that Sunday, my hair still looks really good. Now, if I continue that process, because, I get a little lazy every now and then, but if I continue that process, I can usually make this look last for a good 2 weeks before I have to spruce it up. Now, the only thing that I'm kind of sprucing up daily is my edges. That's it. I mean, that's a given. I told you my edges get a little crazy because I sweat a lot. Now, if I do have an event or a photo shoot or something in between then, I will go ahead and add some mousse to it. Well, some setting foam I use from Pattern or I use from Aunt Jackie's. And then I'll scrunch the hair a lot and I'll just let it do its thing. Let it air dry. And that might be the only thing that I'm doing within those 2 weeks. So for me, I don't think it's that much maintenance for me to do this twice a month or maybe once every week and a half, right? That's for me. For that to happen, you actually have to have a routine. Like I said, tying my hair down. Now, I'm a girl. Once I will forget to tie my hair because I hate having anything on my head. But when it comes to this, I know that I don't want to deal with it in the morning. So therefore, I will tie my hair up at night. It's equivalent to if I had a curly sewing in and I had to go in and brush it out and then set the curls with a foam and then so forth. So who is this style for? I think this style is for any woman, especially to people who are experiencing some like edge loss or anything like that. Because a sew-in, you're cornrowing the hair down or back, whatever your method is, and you are putting stress on your edges. I feel like this one, in my opinion, works really well for people who do have hair loss because you can just wear your hair down in the middle. I know you're gonna say, what if the wind blows? Okay, because I know y'all like to go there. What if the wind blows? What if it blows? I feel like there's still a way. There's still a way to keep these first 4 braids down and still have the hair over your ears. So if the wind blows, it's gonna blow like that. When I feel like my edges are like being compromised, I kind of just like when it gets really loose, I kind of just pull these 2 braids and I just kind of do that. And then I kind of just leave it like that. And that's my style. I hope this video was so helpful for the girl that wants to do boho braids this summer. Again, my website where I sew my hair is softmusehair.com. I'll have it in the description box for you guys down below. But I try to answer every question that I always see when it comes to these braids. And I was like, oh, let's just do a whole video and have all the questions there. Or just an everyday look. And again, like I said, this hair is just, woo, chef's kiss. It's soft. It's so easy to deal with. It's so easy to detangle. It's so easy to wash and just like deal with on the dailies. It's honestly one of my favorite hairstyles that I've done of the year so far. I have in the soft curly, okay? We are sold out, but we will be restocking in April. So please sign up for the newsletter so that you guys are highly aware of when we are gonna drop and you can just go ahead and purchase your summer look, okay? I am gonna add color. I hear everyone asking me like, guys, add color. And I'm like, okay. So I do have a brown on there, but we're gonna add and try to play with some other colors. So if you have a color that you're like, I don't see this anywhere else, please can we try this? Write it down below and I will definitely add that to my list of like colors to add and try. That was it for this video. I hope this video was very informational and it helped the girl out there who has questions about these braids. I hope it did. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.